You know, it can't just be me. It's certainly not just me. I know it's not just me that's thinking. I might be the only person, well, that actually addresses it. You know, it's like the 500-pound elephant in the room that nobody really wants to speak about it. You know, cities and institutions and control. And, you know, the old saying is true. Power corrupts. And absolute power corrupts absolutely. You know, why is it that individuals, people, animals, everything has no self-autonomy? You know, institutions are taking everything away from, well, certainly humans. And one institution in particular, law enforcement, well, it's been the subject of a lot of people's ire for a long period of time. This didn't just start just because, well, you were distracted on Sundays because you painted your face out and drank a lot of beers and, well, went to the football games. Doesn't mean that people haven't been being abused by law enforcement and the criminal justice system in general. You know, stop and think for a moment. How is it legal in multiple places for somebody to, like, well, smoke a joint, consume marijuana, but then in other places in the same country, you get arrested for it, and people literally have to sit in jail because they can't afford to bail themselves out for, well, selling or smoking marijuana. You know, it's insanity. That's what it is. And now there's a more, well, insidious plot afoot. You know what it is. I'm not going to speak about it. We all know what it is. But, you know, I do want to address one tentacle of it. You know, when citizens, well, actually come out and say that they want their own autonomy and that they don't want to be, well, heavily policed, heavily enforced upon when, well, violence is down and, well, when people are actually doing what they should be doing, which is working to solve their interpersonal disputes amongst themselves. You know, free will, autonomy. That's how it's supposed to be. And then you have a huge pushback. And, well, law enforcement gets all butthurt about it. And, well, people who like abusing, who get off on being sadistic, well, they no longer can work in certain jurisdictions. So they either resign or quit. Because, well, the thrill is gone. The thrill of beating somebody over the head, punching someone, breaking people's bones, shooting people, murdering, you know, those type of sick individuals. Well, when the people get so fed up with them and there's a huge pushback, well, they no longer want to work in the jurisdiction. So the trade-off is not that the institution decides, oh, well, we're going to listen to what our constituents want, what our citizens want, what our people want. No, the trade-off is that, well, we'll send you another branch of the trade, different branch. Well, it's different in name only, but it'll operate the same way. You know, I've lived in major metropolitan cities my whole entire life, and I've never seen sheriffs or the sheriff department patrolling local cities in downtown areas like I'm starting to see now. Did anybody ask for the sheriff department to come into the major cities? No. The sheriff's department doesn't know anything about the constituents or the citizens that live in the major cities. If in fact anybody knew anything about the people, it would be your local department. But we certainly don't want those scumbags and bastards because they get off on abusing their citizenry. So now they're going to put in the sheriffs and the county police to do the same thing. You know, they'll just wear a different uniform, have a different lettering on their vehicle, but they'll operate the same way. You know, it's sick. When you have so many people who are unhoused and who have mental health issues, walking the streets, behaving, well, not in the best way, and, well, there's not enough resources for them. But then you put in, well, law enforcement to really, well, execute those people, and then harass the people who are trying to just make it, barely making it. That's literally what, well, the powers that be and the institutions have decided to do to you. And it's no wonder that the citizenry is fed up of it. And, well, it's a powder keg, and it's going to explode because people are tired of it. And you know me, the purple people's out. We'll always support the autonomy of people, the common person, for self-determination, sovereignty for themselves and their own communities. We don't need the sheriff's departments in the major metropolitan cities. We don't need the county police in the major metropolitan cities. We don't need the local police in the major metropolitan cities. The people can solve their own disputes amongst themselves. How it's always been, how it always was, before, you know, you had the controlling freaks who got into institutions and thought that they can police and tell you what to do. You know, if it's not law enforcement or the institution of law enforcement telling you what to do, it's the institution of the religious order, you know, the church, the synagogue, the mosque. They want to tell you who you can sleep with. They want to tell you what's immoral and what's moral. You know, it's all these people in these institutions that want to tell you how to live your life. And you know what I tell them? If you didn't birth me, if you're not my mother, you don't get to tell me what the fuck to do. You know, that's what the citizenry should tell them. If you didn't birth me, you don't get to tell me what to do. I have free will, and I do as I please.